Hi haters, it has come to my attention that one person has asked me to do another short drama series, and I am here to deliver. Thank you, Ricky Kaye. If you couldn't tell, I am in a vampire mood. So this one is called Fated to My Forbidden Vampire, and it's gonna make Twilight look like a cinematic masterpiece. It is, go watch my last video. I really have nothing else to say except subscribe to this channel if you like cursed content like this. So let's get into it. We are introduced to this human girl named Heather who is cooking food for vampires, which right off the bat doesn't make sense. Like in any vampire movie, book, story, they never have vampires eating human food. So it feels particularly goofy that Heather is making them an entire feast. A girl in a green dress, Fiona, comes into the kitchen and starts yelling at Heather Gordon Ramsay style.
What the fuck is this, Heather?
And then uses her magic on Heather to the point where she just runs away. Doesn't she have more food to cook, or are they just gonna eat this shitty risotto? Fiona's brother Samuel has the thickest accent of all time.
Fiona, we agreed. No magic on her.
Which is fine, but just confusing for the plot of the story. Like, where is he from? When did he turn? Are they blood related, or is this more like a found vampire family? These are basic questions that we just don't get answers to. Apparently Sam is in love with Heather and has been since he met her, and he wants to make her his thrall by biting her, but she wants nothing to do with him. And when he forces a kiss onto her, she bites him, making him bleed, and this man sucks his own blood off of his own fingers. So vampires are bleeding in this, and they eat food. What is a vampire? The guest of honor for this vampire convention that Heather was making food for finally arrives, Theodore Kingsley. Fiona has a thing for him, so she's been trying to impress him so they can join vampire households or something. I don't know, but it's not very impressive that they couldn't even steam these curtains. Back in the kitchen, Heather is whisking flour, and Fiona literally stalks in to ask her where the soup is. It's looking a little dry to me, girl. And instead of adding any kind of liquid mixture to this bowl of flour, Heather picks up a knife and her wrist in front of vampires. Really? You're gonna do that in front of vampires? But with his lightning speed, Theo appears in front of Heather and tells her not to hurt herself.
Don't hurt yourself.
And then he leaves without doing anything. So yeah, her wrist still has an open wound, but maybe it stopped bleeding because all the blood went to her. Fiona then confronts Heather about stealing her man, and Heather says that she sounds like a barking dog.
You sound like a barking dog.
And then that night, Heather is sleeping, and in Edward fashion, yet again, Theo is at the foot of her bed, staring at her so that they can talk. She doesn't want to talk. So he gives her an ointment for her hands.
For your hands.
Which is then applied to her wrist, and he actually disappears. They plan to meet in Theo's room at midnight, but Fiona is already in there with an aphrodisiac potion that she tricked him into drinking.
Poisoned our guest here with aphrodisiac potion.
Heather then tells Fiona to
Now get the fuck out.
But Theo is seconds away from a frenzy from this potion and ends up biting Heather, marking them both with this magical connection. His guard, Lancelot, comes in after the ruckus, and Theo admits that they have now formed a blood oath where now every day Theo has to drink her blood or he will die, and she will also die because they are bonded.
What have I done?
Fiona is scheming to get rid of Heather, so she plants her necklace underneath Heather's pillow. When she finds the necklace under her pillow, it starts speaking to Heather. Heather. But then Fiona comes in, catches her red-handed, and tries to kick her out. But then Theo comes into the room with his jacket behind his shoulder and offers her a place to stay, and then admits to everyone that they have a blood oath, which I thought that they were being really secretive about, but whatever. In the car going to Theo's place, she recalls a time where she had run away from the Blakes' house and came across a group of rogue vampires that wanted to kill her. So she says that she had to run like she never ran before. And yes, girl, it looks like you have never ran before. They stop in like this weird ass garden place and we actually get some lore. Okay, I'm here for the lore. So witches have magic, and there was a witch hunt 18 years ago where the vampires drove out all the witches back into the woods and I think killed most of them. I don't know. And we also learned that there are 5 major vampire families. The Blakes and Theo Kingsley is 2 of the 5 families. Okay. And apparently during this witch hunt, Theo's parents had died because they were like the sole family that opposed the witch hunts. Heather was 8 years old when the Blake family found her during the witch hunt and took her in. And Sam and Fiona's parents, the people that took her in, died 2 years ago. And that's all we get in the garden. Now we're back at the Blake's house and Sam is sniffing Heather's pillows because he misses her. Fiona graciously extends an invitation to Heather and Theo at her birthday party coming up so that Sam can see Heather again. Heather then fell asleep in the car, so he carries her to the couch. She wakes up on Theo's couch and she asks if they, and he says,
A gentleman never kisses a lady unawares.
I didn't know we were in Pokemon Arceus, Theo. And because of their blood oath, he now has to feed on her again or they'll both die. And I'm not gonna lie, this part is kind of hot, kind of good. These 2 people seem to have some actual chemistry.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I know.
And this is what I love about these silly little short dramas. When Heather wakes up, she goes downstairs to find another woman. Unfortunately for us, it's written on screen that this girl is Theo's cousin, so it's not much of a surprise, but the introduction of a new character is kind of sweet. Her name is Liz, and she can even braid her own hair.
I like your hair. Thank you. I did it myself.
Theo calls this lady Alphaba. No, not that one. On the phone, who knows the magic to break this blood oath, which apparently only happens between 2 people that are like destined to be together. And this lady does not even try to hide the fact that she's reading off of a script.
And you might pay the price for rejecting fate.
Theo doesn't want to continue this destined bond because he's been searching for this girl who had helped him during the witch hunt when he was a little boy. And the only thing that he can remember about this girl is that she had a necklace awfully similar to the one that Fiona hid under Heather's bed. The necklace that started whispering to Heather. God, it gets so weird. Okay, so Heather and Theo then leave to meet this guy, Zephyrus, who is a renowned 3 Michelin star chef and a wizard. Yeah, okay. So Fiona comes in. She wants Zeph to cater her birthday party, but Heather has this master plan of cooking the food herself to surprise Fiona that it's actually her, and she puts poppy seeds on the cake to make Fiona shit her pants. And these 2 girls get into it.
Call it into Michelin restaurants all you want, but you're still just a dirty little rat in a sewer.
Wear pretty dresses and expensive makeup all you want.
You're still just an ugly, jealous bitch.
Impressed that she made the poppy seed sauce in 5 minutes, Zeph offers her a spot in the kitchen as sous chef. When they get home, Theo admits how sexy he thought it was that Fiona almost shit her pants.
Extremely sexy.
And him and Heather start to make out. They take a bath together with clothes on, and apparently they sleep together that night. In the morning, Heather goes back downstairs and Liz finds out that they have a blood oath, which doesn't make sense for her to find that out now because in the scene before, she was like, I'm gonna do your hair and makeup. And in this scene, she just decides to grab the scarf off of her neck for almost no reason. Okay, I feel like the only point of her discovering it now is just to kind of push the plot point of like him admitting that he's actually looking for this other person that had the necklace before, because Heather doesn't know anything about that. So they get ready to go to Fiona's party that night, and Heather decides to wear 800 necklaces with her dress.
Is it too much?
Yes, bitch, it's too much. At the party, Fiona offers them poisoned wine, which I think this is her only move at this point. And then we get a flashback of Fiona drinking the antidote before drinking the wine, which I don't think antidotes work that way. And also, why didn't she just serve herself normal wine? Sam finds the antidote and follows Heather into the bathroom where she's dying, and then confesses then that he has been in love with her the whole time. And he carries her to the room where Theo is now tied up to a chair with a rope. Sam demands that Theo be released.
I said let him go now!
And with his vampire powers, he successfully releases Theo from these ties. Fiona then escapes from the window while hissing. And Theo takes Heather back to Elphaba's place where she recovers from the poison. And this bed looks a lot like the bed that they got ready in with the 800 necklaces. Just saying. Anyway, Theo finally comes clean to Heather about how he's looking for this girl that he knew when he was younger that had the necklace. And initially she does not take this very well, but then he tells her that he can't live without her.
I can't live without you.
Yes, we know that is how the blood oath works. So they do the dirty again, and Theo reveals that he stole the necklace from Fiona, and the necklace starts whispering to Heather again. And then she enters this dream state where she's like back in the garden where we got the lore drop, and her mom is there talking to her, giving her more lore drop about her power and why her memories were suppressed. And basically, she is Heather Eden, the most powerful witch in the world.
You are Heather Eden, the most powerful witch in the world.
And it also turns out that Fiona's parents killed Theo's parents. So there's that. And the next point I have in my notes is, what is this girl's problem and why does she look like a gargoyle? And that's because Fiona drinks some kind of equivalent to a polyjuice potion and transforms herself into Liz so that she can steal Heather. They go to the old Kingsley summer cabin where Theo's parents died and Heather was captured. And Heather is now chained to a chair with chains from Spirit Halloween. Fiona takes the necklace off of Heather, puts it on the floor, and then slits Heather's throat so that blood starts dripping onto the necklace, which I don't think has a purpose, but okay. And then Theo comes in, shoves Fiona off, but Fiona punches him in the stomach and puts the necklace on and then starts throwing objects with her mind. But then I think the power runs out. Then Heather simply stands up from the chained chair and I think breaks the blood oath between her and Theo so that they don't both die. Fiona then stabs Theo with the same knife that she slit Heather's throat with, and he takes the knife out of him and stabs Fiona. That's a lot of knife sharing right there. I don't think that's healthy. For some reason, Elphaba and Zeph walk into the cabin, and I think it's only so that Elphaba can state that the reason why Heather is still alive is because they've now formed a tear bond.
It's a tear bond.
Which is stronger than a blood bond.
Stronger even than a blood bond.
So they're both alive and well. I guess it took one stab to vampire Fiona to... I don't know, man. I don't know what a vampire is in this story, honestly. But back in his office, Theo is signing a peace treaty with the other 5 houses. So now everyone can live in peace. And honestly, I love the closure for that. And Sam enters the kitchen while Heather is cooking in the most normal way possible.
Fuck, that smells good.
And he actually apologizes for being a weirdo the whole time. Theo and Heather meet up for one last time to talk about their wedding date. Because she's pregnant. Yep. And I hate that. Babies out of wedlock? Scandalous. But now they're gonna have the first vampire witch baby, which is kind of cool, I guess. And I think we need a spinoff. And yeah, that's the entire film. short drama series. I don't know. I watch these as films. They're feature-length films to me. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's any other short dramas you want me to cover. You could be the next Ricky Kaye. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.